exam. So your results are ENFJ. Do you remember if you were a A or a T?
I want to say it was an A.
Great. Okay, perfect. So you're really confident in your results and your the A tells me you're confident in your results and it tells me you're confident in who you are, which is great. The issue is or how two different personality types will look at it. An A will look at their strengths and be pretty happy about it and look at their weaknesses and be like, yeah, I do that, but not as like they're not happy about the fact that these are weaknesses.
Mhm.
T's typically understand their weaknesses and look at their weaknesses and go, yeah, that's me. And then they look at their strengths and go, oh wow, I didn't know I did that. So it all is all about if you're an assertive type or a turbulent type. The assertive type is confident in who they are. So your strengths and your weaknesses are very, very closely related. I'm just going to read your strengths and then explain your weaknesses, and I'll
Okay.
tell you why I do that after I go through it. So you are receptive, reliable, passionate, altruistic, charismatic. Your weaknesses. I'll start with the first one. You're unrealistic. Now it says you're unrealistic, but let's just look. You're passionate and you're reliable. Also, you're pretty open-minded, or you're receptive.
Mhm.
You're passionate, reliable, and receptive. So a person who is not either of those things, especially not the combination, but either of those things, would listen to you talk about ideas, dreams, passions, goals, whatever the case, and go, Norman, I don't know, that's kind of unrealistic. You're aiming for the stars, like you need to bring it down. Like these are the parameters that we're at. Certain personalities don't have the ability to be as passionate, reliable, or receptive about a certain thing. Like there are some people who are just not passionate. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Like they're pretty they're pretty I want to say they like order. Like they're in the lines. Like if things make sense, then they can get behind that. But
Right.
they don't live or die by it. Some people are really passionate and creative about certain things, so they're as open minded and can not really dance within a box. They can dance outside the box. They can color outside the line, and people will say that's unrealistic. They
Right.
would also say overly idealistic. They'll say, hey, um, Nora, I know for sure that you feel confident about this or you feel confident about that, but here's my perspective. When you are a passionate person, it is difficult. I'm not saying for you specifically, but it's difficult for people in this personality type to dial it back when it comes to your principles. Typically, you're passionate about what it is that you value, and then when you try to share those values or implement it into a work environment, relationship environment, parenthood environment, whatever the case is, your ideals kind of take over some other people's ideals. If that person doesn't feel aligned with your values, then they'll
Okay.
feel a little bit more like like Norman's like he's confident in this. Like don't tell Norman anything. Um, You're ultra. I think I saw charismatic. You're charismatic, so I understand this line how it could almost shock people when they people don't understand your ideals. It's almost like, wait, how do you not get it? I just explained it perfectly. I think about it all the time. I'm altruistic, so it's not like I'm not considering your thoughts too. I'm also considering you as I tell you this. How do you not get it? Can come off that could be a mentality, and it comes off as a weakness only because it's a true reflection of your strengths. Condescending when you're charismatic and confident, and someone is not confident. Some people are more of the let me see. Your letters are ENFJ. Some people are not extroverted, as you know,
Mhm.
and some people are not intuitive, right? So if you're talking to someone and you're passionate, confident, you're coming with that energy, they might be like, "Man, why is Norman talking to me like this? Like, why is he so condescending?" When in reality, you're just trying to enlighten others, and that's how it could come across. The reason I like going on these weaknesses is because you see it's like it's not just you, it's about how you interact with other people. So a weakness for you in a certain scenario might be a strength in that different scenario. You're intense, comes with passion, overly empathetic. Here's something that's slightly different than your other weaknesses. Overly empathetic. That's pretty obvious. When you're altruistic, I like how they put it. When you're altruistic, compassion is one, or if not the greatest strength for your personality type. So, if you're at work and someone's like, "Hey, Norman, can you do this? Oh, can you also do this? Hey, give that to Norman. I know Norman will do it." That will come off as overly empathetic. You as in the general you won't necessarily say, "Hey, I can't take on any more people's problems." The altruist in you is saying, "I can do it." That could become a weakness in certain areas if people take advantage of it, and unfortunately, people do. That
Yeah.
leaks into career paths.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's good to hear you explain those. Like reading it, like I read it when we completed it, but it's a little different. I can definitely see myself. Like there are definitely times at work where I'm trying to I don't understand why other people are not like falling in love with the fairy tale. It's like, yes, there's a happy path. Let's paint this picture. Be prepared for what might happen. But like, why are y'all not believing in the fairy tale? Like, we can.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. And I have that issue too. Like the reason I love this and do this before I like evaluate my profile is because it puts it into words that I can understand. Like, oh, okay, I'm not a problem. We just all have different personalities,
right. Fair.
and how that personality gets impacted in your career is so underlined. You're like not thinking about like you are a human being with a specific personality and that
Mm.
shaping your career path. You're just you. You don't think about it. You just go into life and work and just be yourself. But then that shapes your career path.